Welcome to the One Up Podcast. I am your host, El Caballo, a.k.a. Tony, a.k.a. the CEO, a.k.a. the checker, a.k.a. the cash writer, a.k.a. Money Bands Bowie, a.k.a. I'm cashing out, a.k.a. the holiday deliverer, because I'm getting everybody on vacations. I'm the best boss in the world.
You created Labor Day is what you're suggesting?
It's the claim.
Nah, no claims. Here with some of my special guests. Actually, no, co-hosts. I don't know why I call y'all guests. That's crazy. I violated you guys. I apologize.
I'm not going to lie. You've had this like impenetrable madness. This confusion has been in your mind for days. You've just been confused.
If we were a sitcom, it would be starring Tony and all the rest of us just be featuring Pucho. Featuring what the hell?
Them featuring episodes used to be fire. I remember they had Gilligan's Island. Mm-hmm. Just had the fucking Harlem Globetrotters in that shit. Featuring the Harlem Globetrotters. I was like, yo, this is fire. I don't know how they ended up on an island, but they had a whole basketball game. I think they played against robots or something.
Dude, the Harlem Globetrotters got lost all the time, man. They ended up in the cartoon world helping Scooby-Doo solve mysteries.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
They ran into Batman and Robin. They were everywhere.
The world loved the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
Here with some of my special co-hosts, my amigos, my one-time, long-time friends. I say one time because some days, you know, they just get on my nerves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we discussed that last night. We discussed that last night, actually.
Sort of.
About how we're your real friends, but you don't like us no more.
Damn.
Do we need to have one of those like workplace signs up? You know, like the signs that say time since last incident.
That'll be fire. We can have it all in the back. First on the list here of my best friends, my companions, my co-hosts, I got my dog Mateo in the building, a.k.a. the thumbnail master, a.k.a. Butch B. McGee, a.k.a. the what?
Butch P. McGee?
What
is this?
I don't know. I'm already distracted because there was like a little gnat flying around and it just keeps popping into my peripheral.
I'm hating this intro. You just got, please don't even
Wait
say
till I
my
get
name.
to you. Oh my God. Also in the building, I got my dog Pucho, aka the master and chief of editing, aka Purple Nurple, aka the one who shall remain nameless. Even though I just named you.
Have I been known to give people purple nurples, I have purple nipples. So it works out.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, I got my dog Dory Fresh in the building, a.k.a. not your favorite doughboy, a.k.a.
Slap your favorite DJ?
Slap your favorite DJ, a.k.a. the man with many hats.
Ain't there a Dr. Seuss book where a guy got a big stack of hats?
Fucking they keep stacking hats
Is
on
that
top
Dr.
of it.
Seuss?
I don't think it's Dr. Seuss.
It is Dr.
We
Seuss.
talked about this.
I made a thumbnail with that thing.
No, it's definitely Dr. Seuss. 100%.
You're not thinking of the cat in the
Hat? Damn, Doe could be a cat in the hat, just the bigger version, the Latino version.
You should
If we
put Cat back there in the hat.
If we dress up for
Facts.
Halloween again, we should have Doey be Cat in the Hat.
Facts.
But like
I'm
the
down.
New York style one.
I'll put Tim's on.
Oh my God, with a do-rag?
Yeah.
With that shit dangling in the back. Y'all New York people were funny with that shit. Y'all niggas
The
had...
fresh white tee.
When I remember I met the first group of New Yorkers, they had all these fucking dangling fucking capes on the back of their heads. That shit was hilarious to me.
Yeah, do-rag has been popular in New York for a long time. But I mean, it's just in culture.
That's a culture.
Because
thing
even
for
when
sure.
I went down to Florida, like literally my friend was named Do-Rag Eddie.
I used to work with him at an elementary school. He used to wear his do-rag to work.
Yeah.
So, mm-hmm.
That's to keep the braids and everything intact too, like that way it doesn't mess up, right? That's the purpose
I
of it.
don't think he had
You
braids
get your hair
at that
done.
time. I think back then he still had short hair.
He had waves then.
I'm trying to remember this. Yeah. I don't know.
That's the purpose
But anyways,
of the do-rag.
the people wearing the cape on the do-rag, they were doing it wrong back in the day.
Oh, that
Because
was
the move was to roll
roll
up
it
the
up.
cape and tie it in the back. Because ain't nobody trying to walk around all regal and shit, looking like a superhero or a fucking king.
I don't
That
know,
shit
man. I
was
think the
weird.
move at my high school was the cape. Like everyone wanted to be a superhero with their do-rag, I guess.
So weird. So weird. Yo, so
Incredible said that's a bad idea.
I found out today that my dad was never supposed to make it to Florida. He was supposed to live in California. He told me today, he was like, if it wasn't for that stupid ass guy's mistake, I would be in California enjoying life, not in this hot ass weather of Florida. I'm like, damn, Dad, that means you wouldn't have had me. You wouldn't have had Luca. You wouldn't have met your wife, your daughters, like nothing. He was like, no, it's fine. But I would have been in California, way better than Florida. I was like, damn. Think of one simple mistake, he fucking changed his whole entire life. He asked the guys, like, yo, where are we? I'm supposed to be in California. Oh, we're in Florida. How the fuck do we end up over here? I'm like, damn, that coyote fucked you up for real.
Dude, I mean, it's like that sometimes, dude. Like, if Howard Hamlin hadn't chosen that exact moment to come into Saul Goodman and Kim Wexler's apartment, he'd
this
still be
nigga.
alive. He would still be alive.
Yeah.
I hate these
Better
references.
call Saul spoilers, by the way. But anyways, yeah. Did your dad ever live in Boston?
No, that was just my mother and my
Okay,
uncles.
so you're not from Boston at all whatsoever. You guys
been
have
there.
nothing to do with Boston. Okay.
Other than my parents and my uncle, or my mother and my uncles, no. Cool. Why?
Yeah, interesting. My dad almost did a stint in Alaska.
Oh,
There
what
was a
the hell?
time, I know. There was a time where this company was in New York City trying to hire a bunch of like immigrants to go to Alaska. They were gonna get paid guap, like 70, 80K, something crazy. Like everybody was jumping for this shit. They had to go live in Alaska for a couple years doing like oil drilling shit. So yeah, my dad was gonna go. I would have not been growing up in New York. I would have been an Alaskan boy. Would
What
have
if
been
you were-
interesting.
That
What
would
if
have
you
made
were
more
living in
sense.
that? What if you were living in that town in Alaska where the entire town lives in one building?
Is that a thing? I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it's like just like this big like apartment building that they turn into like a little mini city, and it's just everyone in the town lives in that one little like big ass building.
That shit's fire. And then in the center of it, there's a ring so you can get your squabbles out of the way. You got to beef with somebody. Meet me in the fucking ring. Or whoop
I don't
your
know
ass.
about that, but I know that they have like grocery stores are built into this. All your jobs are in there. There's a bar in this little like.
That's
Where
funny.
did people play sports? In the place?
Nah, they probably play hockey out on like a frozen lake or something. It's Alaska, right?
I saw this thing in Dubai where they're trying to make a city, like it's a bio-friendly or eco-friendly type city where it's long as shit, tall, and it's like mirrors on the outer edge. And then inside the city, you need no vehicles, you need none of that. And it's all like, everything's in walking distance. So it's like city blocks in and it's just going up. It's some crazy idea. And it's, you know, it's supposed to like be the next way of living, like to get rid of all this fucking pollution.
Some
shit.
would say that you're delving into a topic we have planned to talk about. Some would say.
No, this is just a Dubai thing.
But yeah, I wanted to tell you guys. You know what I've been playing lately?
What you been
A
playing?
little Cult of the Lamb.
Is that game good?
The fuck's Cult of the Lamb?
It is quite buggy. I've run into a couple bugs, and the frame rate is shit at times. And I've also run into one audio bug that's like the weirdest fucking audio stops playing and it just won't stop. I gotta like kill the game and go back in to like get the regular like ambient noise or whatever. But the game is good. It's like a combination between like a city builder and like the Binding of Isaac. So you like run in, you do like a run, you get some resources, and you start building a city out for like these followers in your cult. It's a really good game. I'm really enjoying it.
It looks rad. I wonder if it's Steam Deck compatible.
It should
I think
be.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like a pretty demanding game, although you're telling me like the frame rate is dropping.
Oh, it's more like the controls. Like some of the games that I played on the Steam Deck, you know, the controls aren't like optimized. You have to like map them and shit. We'll tell you though, Borderlands 2 runs fucking flawlessly on that Steam Deck.
Awesome.
Really?
That was nice. Yeah, I'm still impressed by the caliber of games that are playable on the Steam Deck. It seems like it's beyond the capabilities of the hardware. But like, you know, I've seen people playing all types of shit that you wouldn't expect to be played on a handheld.
It's the screen. It's because the screen is 720 or whatever the fuck, right? So like it can run these modern AAA games. You're running them at 720, but it's a tiny screen. You don't notice that you're not getting those high res, graphics you're used to. Pretty cool though.
So it's just all a cult. You're just a cult leader, pretty much. All right. Just
Yeah. You get followers. You could do crazy shit. You could get married to your followers. You could murder them. You could sacrifice them. You could resurrect followers that have died. It's pretty trippy. I mean, it's a cult, and you're doing deals with like the devil and shit, or some demonic force or something.
I just like your evolution of games. You go from power washing to straight cult. There's no in between. It's just you're a worker to now you're a fucking satanist fucking leader or some shit.
Yeah. Yakuza Like a Dragon is in there too. It's like running in the background.
Same.
I'm playing through it and stuff. But the next one I want to play, there's this golf game. It's like Golf to Death or something.
Yes.
It's like
Curse,
a 2D
Curse
platformer.
Golf, something like that.
Huh?
Curse to Golf.
Curse to Golf. There it is. I said Golf to Death. Yeah, that game looks fire. It looks up
good.
my alley. I'm
Yep.
dying for another game like Golf Story. This isn't quite that game, but maybe it'll scratch the itch,
Golf Story is so good, dude.
So charming.
They're making Sports Story, which is gotten delayed like 17 times. And I thought it got canceled at one point. I think it's alive again. I don't know what's going on. But I heard they're adding too many sports. They got basketball, baseball, volleyball. They got so they're packing in all these sports into this game. I think it'll be fun.
That shit looks cool though. It looks like a Terraria golfing thing. Curse to Golf.
Yeah, it's the next indie that I'm gonna cop.
Our boy Steven was talking about some like baseball RPG where you play as like you're trying to get a high school team to the World Series or some shit like that. I forget the name of the game, but that one sounded interesting.
So like an anime game, or
I'm not positive. He was describing it on the Great Game Debate podcast, and it sounded interesting. And I made a mental note to go check on it, and then I forgot. But it just popped into my head with y'all talking about that stuff.
shout out to the Great Game Debate, and also shout out to our fans. We love you. You are our 300. If you know anybody who would like our podcast, you'd like to share us, you can click that button down below. You can smash that like button. You can ring-a-ling the ding-a-ling. And
some people would say that if King Leonidas had just 100 more Spartans, they would have been able to hold no problem even longer. So let's get us up to 400 so we can be the better version of the Spartan army.
Mm-hmm.
Some would say CEO Tony in his 400.
Ooh.
Was the game Little League World Series?
It might be.
All right.
I'm not
It's got
positive.
mostly negative reviews, but it looks good.
I'm not positive. We'll have to bug Steven. He'll probably comment on this video, honestly, before I remember to bug him.
One thing I was shocked about, that Doughboy didn't bring up that Dead Island 2 is coming.
oh yeah, I heard. Yeah, they're actually making a Dead Island 2, but I think it's gonna be Dead in the Water on arrival.
You think?
Dead
if they
on the
don't-
water and arrival.
Yeah, I think personally, if they don't wow us with
You gotta let shit
something,
go sometimes.
it's gonna be another zombie game amongst a sea of zombie games.
I want to know how are we going to differentiate between, is it Dying Light?
Dying
Is that
Light.
what they're the same company, right?
I'm not
I
positive.
don't think so.
They're
don't think
not.
they are.
Oh my God. I thought Dead Island and Dying Light were the same people.
I don't think so.
Oh, wow. Well, they managed to make the same game. So
I kind
whatever.
of like the Dead Island MOBA that they had for a little while. It was actually pretty good.
They had a mobile? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was all right. I forget the name of it, but it was okay.
Riptide or something.
I think so. That sounds right.
Riptide. Yeah. Okay, I did hear about that. Yeah, but fuck.
Yeah, I
all
never
that
got around to trying it. What's funny about this Dead Island, people on Twitter are all pissed off about it. It's called Dead Island. It doesn't take place on an island. People,
It's more metaphoric. Like he feels like he's on an island because he's by himself.
yeah, I don't know what it means, but people are
Just
pissed off
making
about
shit
it.
up there.
That shit works though, right? That shit.
They're
You
like-
was looking at it like,
It's on a peninsula. It's not a fucking island. And then, you know, people on Twitter, they be getting pissed about anything.
I hate the Twitter people sometimes. Because it's
They
like,
be
yo,
crying.
why are
They
you
be
getting
crying.
mad at little things? Next to be mad that it's a black main character on that island. Like, why is he black?
They already got mad about the Forspoken chick.
Oh, yeah, facts. Shit is beast. Either way,
I like, y'all seen She-Hulk twerking? You
Yeah.
saw that shit?
wait, where?
Now, and there's a TV show, She-Hulk. She was twerking. So, like,
I have to watch.
I agree that it was cringy, but if it was Deadpool twerking, the internet would have loved it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it was goofy. I found it kind of endearing just because I had read like a story before the episode came out that she was a huge fan of Megan Thee Stallion. So like that was kind of like that was fan service for her almost more than it was like fan service for like the people watching the episode. I think that's cool. She's an awesome actress.
Megan Thee Stallion is like, I guess, some business chick or something in the show, or just in that episode.
She's playing
And-
herself.
Okay, she's playing herself. They're in her office. They were twerking. It's a ridiculous scene. But I'm just saying the whole internet was talking about how dead Marvel is, how shitty this is, all this stuff. There's like this big backlash behind She-Hulk twerking, and I was just thinking like if it was Deadpool twerking, no one would have batted an eye.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I don't
I don't know what that means. Like, is there like this sexist bent, or is it like? I don't know. I can't. I couldn't really rationalize what.
You could argue it's a sexist thing. You could argue that it's a straight up like racist reaction to this thing too. I don't know, man. There's some weird stuff going on there. Between She-Hulk though and Rings of Power, this has been a fantastic week for me as far as like consuming media. If y'all haven't checked out Rings of Power, you should. It's fucking gorgeous. But it should be because I think it's like the most expensive TV series ever filmed.
How does
Because
it
of
compare
production?
with House of the Dragon?
I think it's probably a little bit more visually impressive.
Yes, I plan on checking it out. Me and my wife had yesterday off, and we didn't do anything. We just like napped and shit. It was fire.
Sounds like a good day.
Especially after that fucking 4 a.m. recording.
Yeah, let me not say nothing.
Oh yeah, that's how it really started. Tony was like, I'm so tired.
Nowhere near that.
Oh.
I said, yo, I was tired as shit. I told Felix. Felix asked, yo, how was the recording? I was like, yo, I'm tired. And Ucha just came here. I'm like, wow, whatever. Anyways, I had some interesting shit happen to me this week. I'm driving on the highway or whatever, right? Dickhead cuts me off. My inner me wanted me to beast, but the good me said, nah, fuck it, right? Cool. We both get off at the same exit, whatever. I'm gonna go stop at Dunkin' Donuts to get a little bagel with cream cheese, a little hot cocoa, because I don't drink coffee, but I'll take a little hot cocoa, right? Cool. So I pull up, and he comes out of nowhere and tries to cut me off again.
In the Dunkin' Donuts line at the store?
Yeah, as I'm pulling up around the corner, he comes in.
The drive-thru.
The drive-thru, yeah. And I said, you know what? No, not today. So I go forward. He tries to go in more. I go forward again. Mind you, I'm in a truck. He's like in a Honda Civic or something, right? Guess what happened? Fucking cop comes around the other way. He's blocking the cop's entrance. So I'm sitting there, and I know he sees me looking at him. And I'm just shaking my head like this. This guy gets mad. Looks like he was going to reverse and try to still cut me off. The cop hits the siren. Dude gets spooked. Hits a reverse, goes forward, and runs right over the fucking median, and his front bumper rips off.
Holy shit.
The cop lights up his car, gets out, and talking to him. I get my coffee. I get my hot cocoa, my bagel. I look back one time, and I laugh. And at that point, I knew that there is a God, and that God loves me.
I would have got out the car with the hot cocoa, and I would have just sat on the side of my car and just watched the whole thing.
Yo, you are petty as fuck. That's petty.
just put down your truck bed and just sat in the back of it.
Yo, I should have done that. They could just sit there and watch this dickhead. Yeah, that's his fault, bro. I was being
Shit
nice.
could get you shot, but still.
Not with a cop right there.
Imagine
No.
Tony went into the store like on foot, and this dude still came in and like cut him off like in the actual like the
He's
person.
like trying to cut him in.
Nah, we'll have to fight at that point. At that point, that nigga, he wanted beef with me.
You go into the bathroom, he runs in before.
What the fuck did he do to this guy? You must have cut him off and not noticed.
Nah, I was going 85 miles per hour in the HOV, chilling. He just had
Were
to
you
cut
in
me
HOV
off.
when you weren't carpooling? Maybe he cut you off on principle. Like, why are you
No.
in the HOV lane and you're not carpooling?
No, what do you mean? I'm in the right time to be without a carpooling. I'm in the
I'm
right
just
time.
asking.
No, yeah. Even if so,
It seemed like he had a bone to pick with you. He tried to cut you off twice, and you did nothing. You're innocent.
He was gonna get in front of. He was gonna get in front of Tony in that drive-through, and he was gonna order every bit of hot cocoa and every bagel they had.
is it weird that I drink hot cocoa instead of coffee?
Yeah,
Yeah,
think it's fun.
Tastes better than coffee.
Because
So,
because if I was at Starbucks, I will actually order a drink that has coffee in it though. Because maybe I just don't like coffee from Dunkin' Donuts.
Nah, man. What would be weird is if you just had like a big like thing full of milk and sugar, like Michael Scott from The Office.
I
it's like,
know.
how do you take your coffee? Milk and sugar. He's like, no. Just milk and sugar.
Terrible.
2-year-old. What were you gonna say though?
Tom Green liked our short this week.
Did he really?
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fire.
the Andrew Tate one. Yeah.
That's
So
a
shout out to Tom Green. We love you.
He's probably a Andrew Tate fan.
No, he's just on the internet. He still does a podcast. He's still very live with it. Yeah, so he liked our tweet about Andrew Tate. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I tagged him.
Oh, you tagged him in it?
Yeah, always, dude. Always. I told you, anytime you always got to tag somebody. Think of some clever hashtags.
Nice.
You want a
I'd-
cookie?
I love
You
Tom
beat me
Green,
to
man.
it.
Tom Green was such a big part of like my like early teen years, mid-teen years.
Same.
Nice.
You don't remember the Indian guy that would sit in the window behind him on the talk show? They're just some Indian guy over to the left. It was his friend.
I don't know that dude was Indian. I think that dude was like a white ginger dude.
No, that was one of them.
Uh-huh.
And then he had an Indian guy who just sat
Okay.
there and drank, and he would laugh.
That
It's
must have
hilarious.
been after my time watching a lot of Tom Green.
He was there because he had like his skits, and then it would go back to
the
like
studio.
to the studio, and
Yeah.
it was one of those studio parts.
All right.
Him and that ginger guy aren't cool anymore. They're amicable, but I think he had to take off all the stuff that had that guy in it.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So, boys, let me let you guys simmer on this real quick. Last of Us got a lot of issues. This whole new remake shit's got a lot of problems coming to it. First off, the price. Second off, what the fuck did they actually do? Big stink.
Which
you
number of release is this of The Last of Us? How many times did they release The Last of Us now?
3?
Is this the third one?
Yep.
What are they, Call of
not-
Duty?
Still not as bad as
Dude,
Skyrim.
you're a bitch.
Or GTA 5.
GTA
Oh,
Fucking
5.
GTA 5.
wow,
GTA
yeah.
5 is a king of that. And I'm a dummy
Skyrim.
because I bought that game like 4 fucking times.
I mean, Doey's bought The Last of Us all 3 times now.
Damn.
I copped it. I could say that I feel like they could have charged less because like they omitted the multiplayer from it. I just feel like you're taking a piece out of the game and you're not putting something else back in to replace it. I feel like right off of the bat, it could have been like $50. You know what I mean? Just like a $50 game.
You're bugging, bro. First off, you're
Yeah.
bugging because you purchased it. Second off, you're bugging because you purchased it knowing that it didn't have multiplayer. And then third, you're bugging because it's $50 and you think that's a good price point for you to buy that game.
Yeah, I think video games cost money to make. I think they need to make profit off of this. And I like Naughty Dog as a company. I like the work that they do. I think this engine, the Last of Us 2 engine, is a solid engine. And if they want to go back and remake their games, I'm even down for a remake of Uncharted 1.
Oh
if they
my
do
God.
it the right way,
Yo,
I'm even down for that.
They
'Cause
just
I think-
remastered it like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Or
they did
3
the
years
Nathan
ago.
Drake collection or whatever the hell. It improved it a lot, honestly. Like, it was worth it.
The problem with you guys, and it's you guys, the consumers,
Oh, I
right?
thought you were talking about us three in particular.
The consumers. Well, you two, you three too, because y'all love fucking remakes. All you remake buyers, go to hell. Stop buying fucking remakes. You are giving these guys the reason to rob us even more. Who the fuck in the right mind is gonna pay $70 for a game that's like 8 years fucking old, already had 2 remakes, a remaster shit, and then, bro, matter of fact, if this is a way for you guys to get money to make a multiplayer for fucking Last of Us 2, okay, maybe I can probably be like, all right, let the dumbasses pay you to make a multiplayer. But no, it's not that. They do not. Someone in their business, in their company, is fucking dropping the ball repeatedly.
No.
Yes.
Look, the game Mafia 1, they remade it
Trash.
recently a few years ago. No, it's really good. The first Mafia remake,
They remade
he's-
Mafia 1 and 2.
yeah. I don't think 2. I think 2 was just a remaster.
I see.
Yeah.
They were
part one,
bundled though, right? Or
They
something like
bundled
so.
them together,
I
yeah.
I'm tired of that
But
shit.
yeah, the remaster for Mafia 1 is actually a pretty faithful remaster, and I enjoyed it a lot. I don't mind it. I think but that game was also $40. So
I don't think they
you
should
know what I mean?
charge. I don't even think they should charge.
I'm kind of on board with what you're saying, Tony, because like I'm looking at this article that is talking about like how Naughty Dog. This is back from like February or something like that. It's like Naughty Dog's got 3 titles in development right now, and 2 of the titles. One of them is this Last of Us remake, and the other one that they're saying is a title that they're working on is the multiplayer expansion for Last of Us 2.
Yeah, no, that shit.
I don't know that counts as the title. I'm curious what their third thing they have in development, because I haven't heard shit
Oh,
as
it's
far as whether
Uncharted. Uncharted 5.
Is you think so? The story
I
feels like
hope
it was
not.
so complete though.
Yeah, they better not. What they're gonna do?
No,
the
I think they're gonna
grandson
go
shit?
with his daughter.
Well, they could do a soft
Yeah.
reboot. I think that could be interesting potentially.
I think
I
it's
hope
time to
not.
cut it off and make something new.
But
You
I
already,
would,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're fucking up with The Last of Us right now. Luckily, there's a fan base like myself that I'm included. I like Last of Us storyline.
I gotta pause you there. Fucking it up.
Yes,
if you
they're
don't,
fucking it up.
if you don't want the game, don't buy it. How do you call it a fuck up?
Because you guys are letting these thieving assholes release remakes for top price. Bro, they're charging you a game that costs more than a brand new AAA game.
Yeah, because the new price of game is $70.
It is ridiculous, though.
yeah, $70 is the new price of games. That's a whole conversation is whether games should cost $70 or not. I
We'll
think
get
so.
into that in a
Probably,
little
I
bit,
think
but
they do because just like everything else goes up in price, you can't expect the video game price to stay the same.
if it's gonna go up in price, then the quality of the fucking game's got to go up in price.
It's fucking a PS5 game.
And
It has
they
gone up.
deliver shitty games. Look at Deathloop. That shit is free. That shit dropped. It wasn't even. I don't even think it was $60 when it dropped. Right?
no, it's
I
full
think it was
price, I think.
$60.
It was. And that game was trash. I'm gonna give it a try
No, it
because
was
it's free
not.
now.
You're
That game was
bugging.
trash.
I
That
played
game
it. That
trash.
shit is good.
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
that-
give it a try.
I don't think that game. I don't think that game was for me because I don't like the combat in the Dishonored series. Never felt good to me, and I've heard that it's that
Yep.
same kind of combat. But the
Those are
game
the-
looked cool for people that enjoyed that type of game.
The combat is different from Dishonored. Dishonored has more of like it has more fantastical like mechanics, teleportations and all that kind of stuff. And Deathloop has those things. I think it uses it a little bit more sparingly. It's more a gunplay game, and there's different abilities and stuff like that, but it's not as crazy as Dishonored. Deathloop is good. I haven't given it the full attention I think it deserves. I've played it quite a bit, maybe 10, 12 hours. It's good. The story's cool. The world is cool. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It's just that like it hasn't fully grabbed me. So every time new things come out, I just jump on different things. But
So-
anyways, to what Doey was saying, I guess I don't see what the problem is. Like there's certain remakes I want and there's certain remakes I don't want. So I don't buy those. I'm not out here crying about them. You know what I'm saying?
The whole argument of they ruined The Last of Us, though, that shit is always so weird to me. It's like when the new Ninja Turtles movie came out, and they're like, well, they ruined my childhood. Now the Ninja Turtles is ruined forever. It's like, nah, dude, just don't watch the new shit. Like, watch the old shit you like, and done.
They're ruining themselves, like with this remake shit. It's bad enough that Final Fantasy has a remake for almost every one of their fucking game series. But whatever, I'm not a fan of them. I don't subscribe to their bullshit. I'm just saying, people need to stop subscribing to this remake agenda. There's a remake agenda.
Why?
Tony, we need to record a video where we have you play like the original Final Fantasy 7 for like 30 minutes and then play the remake for like 30 minutes so that way you can understand just how big a deal that remake is.
Even if they do a Bad Company 2 remake, I would not do that.
What do you mean? You bought the Modern Warfare remake. What are you talking about?
No, I did not buy a Modern Warfare.
You
What Modern
did.
Warfare remake did I buy?
The Modern Warfare, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the first one that came out on PS3.
It's a whole new game. It's not a remake.
No.
Tony is a liar. If they made a Bad Company 2 remake, we would all be playing that shit tomorrow.
Did you not see my face? I was like, ha. Did you not just see my face? I was like, ha, maybe. But no, I wouldn't. Because you know why? If they charge $70, I would not do that. I would not.
And that's fine.
If it was, let's say, a $10 thing, okay. But I'm not in the camp of this remake $70. That shit's ridiculous. And you take, like Doughboy said, you take multiplayer out, replace it. They didn't even replace it. Like, why?
The missing multiplayer is wild. I don't know if there's balancing issues, if they just didn't want to do crunch time with their devs. I have no idea. I think you might be muted, though.
That feels like what it was. It feels like they wanted to get this out quickly. Because they feel like, but I don't know. I just was super disappointed. Like, why?
You don't know why they're trying to get this out quickly?
I mean,
they got the HBO series coming out.
I see.
So they're developing. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to like they Last of Us Part 2 came out, and I think they wanted a more cohesive like Last of Us experience. So then they remade the first one to kind of, be in line with the second game, so to speak. Yeah. So that when the HBO show comes out and people are all, oh, this Joel Ellie shit, this show's crazy, they could go buy a PlayStation and play Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah, nice. That makes sense. And think of it like marketing too. Like some amount of this is marketing for the TV show.
Honestly, it should be like a legacy purchase. Like if you purchase the first two, the third one should be free for you.
I don't know that they would straight up do that, but I do like the idea of you getting discounts if you already like have a digital purchase on your fucking account showing that you purchased this game.
Tony's talking about like, yo, I bought a 2012 Kia and I bought a 2018 Kia. When the 2022 comes out, that shit better be free.
Nah, get a discount or something.
Give me mine.
It don't work like that.
But no, I'm saying like there should be
trade
like
that car in and you'll get your discount. Right? Go to GameSpot. Go to GameStop and go support them. Okay.
After we finish recording today, I'm gonna go to McDonald's and be like, yo, I've gotten breakfast here for 3 weeks. I want a free breakfast right now.
There should be like a legacy subscription on PlayStation where it keeps track of all your remake purchases, so that way when the game come out, you get it either free or a super discount versus somebody who doesn't. You know what I mean? Like there should be some accolades or some help, not accolades, but something to tell me, okay, I'm not really wasting my money here because I'm getting something in return. That's all I'm saying. Like Pooch last night mentioned a little bit of this conversation. He was like, yo, they sneak and remade, they fix certain things, but a lot of other spots they dropped the ball in. I forgot what you were saying, Pooch.
Yeah, I didn't say they dropped the ball. I was just saying that like the gameplay is still basically Last of Us Part 1. And Part 2, you could go prone and like hide in grass and things like that. You can't do that in this Last of Us. So it's like, even though they're using the engine, they didn't change the gameplay features, because if they did, they would have to recreate all the maps to be compatible with those new gameplay elements, and they'd have to update the AI to be compatible with those new gameplay elements. So like the amount of work, it would be a much larger overhaul than just... It seems like they focus mostly on the visuals. Fidelity of the game.
I got you right where I wanted you. So you're saying they didn't want to put the time and the effort and the money to update the game truly, but they want to charge you, right? They want to charge you top dollar.
Yeah, it's like when they remade Final Fantasy VII, they're splitting it into 3 games because they couldn't do it in 1 game.
I can't get behind that.
That's fine. Then don't buy it. I think that's totally fine. Just
I
get
swear-
off
I
of Twitter.
swear, Tony, we
stop
need to have-
crying. Tony's over here. You can see this dude got
No
the
tears.
fucking. He's got the fucking eyeliner streaking tears.
streaks.
He's calling his mom to come bail him out from the damage that Naughty Dog's doing in his life.
Well, now
Just
I've got
get off of
my
Twitter.
thumbnail idea for
Yeah,
this.
get off of Twitter. Stop crying about The Last of Us. Don't buy the game.
Yeah, I
Simple.
won't be
I
able
don't
to-
understand the reaction. Right?
I won't be able to play my mathematics fractions multiplayer.
Yeah, fractions.
Fractions.
Dewey calls fractions, and then
Fractions.
Beaumont made a funny joke. He's like, "Damn, I didn't know you were that into math." But yeah, then another thing too. The reason they didn't come out with the factions, which I don't think it would have been hard for them to just put it in the game. They could have kept it exactly the same,
Copy and paste.
and just update the visuals in those maps. And I think they could have kept it exactly the same. I don't think it would have been that much. I don't think, but I think that they don't want to split their multiplayer base. Like they're about to come out with a multiplayer game. I don't think they want people playing The Last of Us Part 1 multiplayer, and then their new game's not going to get the sales type of thing. So I think it was just like a business decision in terms of like we don't want to split our fan base or whatever.
I mean, that
Yeah,
makes sense because like why would they do multiplayer for this remake if it doesn't have all the cool features that the second one is going to have with multiplayer, right?
Well, that's fine. The multiplayer, okay, that's fine. But I'm saying there's a bunch of games that have free upgraded versions of itself. Why couldn't they just do that?
Because this isn't a free upgraded version.
Yeah, this is much bigger than that.
Those games don't do shit when they're doing their PS5 upgrade. It's usually like, we just need to port the game so it works on PS5 and enable some extra stuff that the PS5 supports. But they're not. Go look at it. I think they redid mocap. I think they even got some voice acting involved for some things. They did so much stuff with the visual fidelity. It's not just a simple a couple devs went and updated. There's a whole team of guys, a whole team of people that went and developed this game. Like,
Yeah, I'm not subscribing to that shit. Naughty Dog, you better make a hell of a good damn Last of Us 2 multiplayer. That's all I gotta say.
and Tony, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I didn't buy the game. I'm not paying
I know.
$70.
I'm glad you're not.
paying $70 for this. I'm not saying that it's not worth $70 for me personally. To me, I'm not paying $70 for that experience. But I'm not gonna shit on people that think that they like Doey bought it. Cool, good for him. I wouldn't.
You know
do
what
it.
I'm excited to do? I need to beat the game first, but I want to play in like the hardest difficulty level, but with the most amount of supplies. And you can do that with like the accessibility things. I can't wait to do that.
That's fine. Well, you're gonna have grounded mode or unlimited
Grounded
ammo?
mode, but not unlimited ammo. Just like you're gonna be able to find all the supplies you need. You remember when I was just shooting guns just so I could pick up more supplies? Like
Yeah, that shit made me sick.
You're
Me
gonna
and Doey were
kill
on
every clicker in the game.
Yeah, me and Doey were on share play because I was trying to help him find like firefly emblems, and he was playing it on the easiest difficulty, and he would walk up and see, oh, there's 6 bullets there, and he's like, but my assault rifle's full. He'd whip it out. He'd shoot 6 rounds and then pick up the bullet. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this shit makes no sense.
What?
He's like sick in the head. This is like hyper consumerism. He just needs to consume. He just wants more. That's just crazy.
This is why y'all don't have ammo when you play games with him because he's over there wasting ammo just to pick up more ammo.
No, that's why we fought with him in Last of Us, because he's out there during multiplayer maps trying to find fucking shit while we're actually dying out here. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah, Doey has an addiction of finding supplies and materials and guns, and he wants to open chests in games. So we're out there firefighting. He's all fucking off in the corner opening a thing. It's like, yo, you need 4 guys in a firefight. Like, if you're down a guy, you're dead.
I do want to say though, what do you guys think about that? Do you agree with saying, depending on the quality of the game, the price should match? If the game, like, because I mean, we mentioned just a minute ago, but if that quality of the game, I think that's where the money should reflect. If the game is not as good, I don't think.
What does quality mean? What do you mean
overall,
by depending on the quality?
like how the game plays out. If it's not if the storyline is shit, or if it's not a lot of mechanics, it doesn't do certain things. Like, I don't know,
I think you kind of see that already. Like, you know, AAA titles are always going to charge whatever the maximum price is they can get for the game, right? Very rarely is a AAA title going to come out and it's not going to be at the whatever the max price is for that time frame. But indie games come out and the indie devs have to play this game of, do we think our game is a $20 game, a $10 game, a $30 game? Where do we think we fall in this indie dev range?
See, that I get it for indie because, you know, they're like their own little genre, their thing. But I'm mostly talking about AAA games. Like,
I mean,
you know,
AAA games are always going to be the full price.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm trying to think. There were a couple games that came out at like the $40 price point. Because they were like the Miles Morales game. Wasn't that game $40?
And Bug Snacks or something like that.
Right, Bug Snacks was like $40. Although that's questionable.
I don't know if that
was.
was. I don't know if I would call that AAA. And Miles Morales is a AAA game, but it's also not a full game. Like it's
sure, exactly. And I think that's the point: is that it's AAA game. The quality's all there. There's voice acting. There's this. There's that. It's just it's a smaller experience. They charge a smaller price. You know.
For example, like Overwatch 2, if it's just only multiplayer, I don't think it should be $78. I think it should be $50.
But Overwatch 1 was $60, and you paid $60 for just
Overwatch.
multiplayer.
Overwatch 2 is going to be full price, but Overwatch 2, they're also saying there's going to be a big like PVE element to it, where it's going to be co-op
you guys
missions
don't
and shit
know?
like that.
We're all getting Overwatch 2 for free.
What?
We're all getting Overwatch 2 for free when it comes out. Overwatch 1 will turn into Overwatch 2. So when you
but I
open
don't
up
think we're gonna get
Overwatch,
the new Overwatch 2
we're
features.
gonna get the new Overwatch 2. It's gonna be free to play.
Joey. I think are you sure? Because I know that the multiplayer is going to transfer. That it, like the mode that we have now in Overwatch 1, we're going to be playing that mode in Overwatch 2. But I don't know if we're going to have that. It's going to be like a Fortnite situation where you got access to that stuff, but you still got to pay money to get access to. They're adding like a single player, and they're adding like a PVE, and they're adding like other game modes. I don't know if we're going to get those. Is all. I wasn't aware.
They're doing the same thing for Call of Duty. Warzone's going to be in Warzone. They're just going to add another tab for the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. They're just adding a tab in order to
the cancer on your hard drive that is Warzone.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but it's already
bigger?
like that, Tony.
No, that's what I'm saying. But that's what they're going to do. That's
They
what he's saying.
They got 3 Call of Duties that are already like that, no?
Yeah,
and Battlefield did that too, right?
Yes.
Like you could play Battlefield 5, 1, and maybe 4. No, not 4. But it's like tabs in a game. I don't like that tab shit. The tab shit would be cool if it was the same executable, but it ain't. You got to download a whole 100-something gigs to get access to that tab. It's like, fuck that. What's the point of the tab? I got to delete the other one. It's like, why I want the... I don't know.
So, though,
weird.
you're saying that it's not going to be one whole new game on its own thing. It's going to just be an upgraded version of Overwatch 1. That's what you're saying.
Oh, no, it's going to be a whole new game. The game is going to be updated, but I think the engine is going to be the same. I think pretty much they're just a bunch of characters are getting revamped. They're even the characters we know.
We're gonna have to buy the game then. This is what I'm saying. We're gonna have to go in the PlayStation Store. No, it's just gonna be. Right
There's a thing right now that you can get to play the beta. That's the only money that they're asking.
Interesting.
And it's $40. And you get to play the beta, you get some costumes and shit like that. But other than that, when Overwatch 2 comes out, it's going to be a big update, and Overwatch 1 will turn into Overwatch 2. That's what they said.
I want to know how's that going to work, because I'm a dick. I got Overwatch 1 on disc. I wonder how that's going to work out for me. I might have to buy Overwatch 2. Man. Yeah, I bought that back in the Best Buy Gamers United thing, where every game you buy was like 20% off or some shit like that.
2015 was really big with that.
Man, y'all convinced me to do that, and then I think I used it for one game ever the entire time that I owned that service.
Yeah. Awesome.
That sucks. Yeah, it was just worth it. $160 game, it was like $48. Mm-hmm. You did it twice, it paid for itself, and more. And then if you bought more than 2 games, then it was worth it. You know.
Yep.
But honestly, though, like, yeah, if it's just an upgraded version, cool. If they're not charging, great. That'd be awesome. But back to the question, though, like, do you guys think the quality, price-wise, a match? Outside of AAA games, I guess the indie games do it. Do you think
indie games do it? It'd be nice if more devs had the self-awareness that the people that were behind the Spider-Man games had.
Yes.
I don't think it's the trend though. I think that the trend tends to be just whatever is the max amount we can get for a AAA game or a AAA studio. That's what we charge.
And that's why I asked, what do you mean by quality? Because I would argue a game like Celeste or a game like Terraria, it has enough content and enough love and enough things in those games that if they charge $60, like then I wouldn't have bought it. But now knowing like the content that they put into all that stuff, I'm like, yeah, $60 is not unreasonable. Like, but I know plenty of people that'll look at a game like you've said it. You've looked at a game like Terraria. If Terraria was $60, you'd be like, oh nah, this is not good enough quality. Meanwhile, go look at how many hours you're gonna pump into that game versus any other AAA games. It's well worth the price.
So you're saying like my statement
look
of
at-
quality is should have been like quality of time. Like if, just because the Terraria don't look like a $60 game, the quality of time with the enjoyment you should take into effect or an accountability. You
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm asking, how do you define quality? Because a game like Binding of Isaac, I bought the original Binding of Isaac for $1.49, and I played that game for 200 hours. Like
$1.
it's
crazy.
worth more than that. Like I don't care what nobody says. Like it's worth more than $1.49. I got it on a Steam sale. It's worth more than $1.49. But it just is what it is. I think I got 187 or 240 hours on that game. It's a great game. Like so, it's like how do you define quality?
Oh,
Because I enjoyed every buggy minute of that game. Like it was fire.
Maybe by quality, I'm more meaning as on like how it looks, probably visual,
Right.
And stuff
Then I
like
disagree
that.
with you, and that's my point.
I think
Yeah,
I
mean, it's complicated, right? I mean, it's like to Pooch's point, it's like Minecraft too. Think of the amount of hours the Minecraft nerds that have gotten really into that game. Think of the amount of hours some of those fucking people have in the game. It's thousands of hours at this point. And they're still actively doing development on Minecraft. There's still new shit coming to that game. Their roadmap, I don't know that any other game has had as ambitious a roadmap as Minecraft has had during its lifespan.
Yeah, and their like monetary model is strange because they don't really have DLC. They don't really have microtransactions or anything like that. You just buy the game and you get all the updates for free. It just seems to be, it's been around for 20 years now. That's crazy. I played Minecraft when I was in college. Wait, I did that math wrong. It's been around for 10 years. I did that.
I was like,
I played Minecraft when I was in college back in 2011. You know what I'm saying? 2010, shit like that. And I played this game religiously. I got hundreds of hours in Minecraft, and I bought it twice. I bought it on the PS4 and I bought it on PC. Mm-hmm. And I pirated it before that. You know what I mean? I couldn't even afford the $15 at one point, and I played the shit out of that game. It was fire. Like it was just straight up fire. But yeah, their model for making money just seems to be around long enough so that the next generation of kids buy this game again. So they're just selling so many copies because as these younger kids grow up, they're buying Minecraft now. Everybody's growing up and buying Minecraft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I never played it or bought it ever. But
it's one of the most successful games of all time. It's not my style of game. I can't get into it, but the people that are into it, it's a big deal to them.
yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I guess I'll retract some of the quality statements, I guess, on the pricing and stuff. But still, I think there should be some type of price adjustment on games coming out. Like they do
I don't disagree. I think our point was just that it's complicated to actually try to quantify that, like what the distinction is.
I think you should let like maybe 50 players or 100 players play the game, and they'll give you a price point what's fair. Like, don't they do that for movies? What
if that doesn't recoup the losses for the production studio? How much they paid out to make the game?
That's on them. That's the price of business.
So you're saying they should tank themselves on purpose?
No, don't tank yourselves. Pull out the best thing. If you're making a game, put all your best efforts into it, and it'll pay out.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
We are tripping.
I'm
Because
tripping.
not everything's successful. Yeah. Like, look at Spore. They put so much efforts into that game. They created very interesting systems and very interesting mechanics, and the game just wasn't good, and it tanked. They poured money into that game. They poured time,
They
love,
didn't pour
all of
quality though.
that. It was high quality. It just wasn't a good game. There's just games that aren't good. What you're saying is pour more money into it until it's good.
No, not
But
money. I'm
only-
not even talking money. I'm more like like quality as in like atmosphere, or what would drive someone to play this game, or what would get them to get like. There's got to be some type of like something. They have to have a department in each one of these fucking gaming development places, like, and just be like, yo, look at this game. What would drag you to stay on this game? You know, that's
Yeah, the designers, they make what developers call the gameplay loop. It's like what's gonna keep you here playing this game. But I don't think that if you put a lot of efforts and try your best and put good quality in, that it's just gonna be successful. It don't work like that. For every successful game out there, there's 100 other high quality games that just didn't hit for some reason.
not even high quality. It's just the simple things what catches people. Rocket League, very simple game. Fucking catches people. Like Minecraft, I think that shit started out maybe as a simple ass fucking thing. Now look at it. It's this fucking world demon that just consumes every child's life. It's just, you know, I don't know. But hey, I do want to tell you guys this though, in a lighter you're on mute, Pooch. On a lighter
Yeah.
topic. What's your top tier holidays? What's your favorite holiday? What's your least favorite holiday? What's a holiday you like to celebrate or you just don't give a damn about?
This one's a little hard for me because I grew up J-Dubs out here, Jehovah Witness.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Throwing the big J-Dubs out there. To all my J-Dubs.
All right, stop it.
yeah, that shit just sidelined.
And it was long.
J-Dubs. I was like, what the fuck are we
I was
doing?
like, how many more times?
Yeah, so I don't really, I can't, I guess, like, I don't know. For me,
Even
it's
your
weird.
little Jehovah Witness ass used to love Christmas, bro. At the minimum, you
Break?
got 2 weeks off from school. I don't want to hear no
Think he
J
didn't
Dubs.
know.
That shit was fire, all right? That shit was fire, yo.
Fire.
You changed that man's mind instantly with one word, nigga, Christmas. Nah, bro. Every kid loved the holiday breaks and stuff like that. As an adult, I love holiday breaks from work. Like, days off from work is what I love. Labor Day, I'm off Monday. I love it. I fucking hate Mondays. Just with the rest of the world, you know, they hate Mondays. Like, what is top tier though? But what is it for us? For the adults, top tier is how many more days you can get off. Like, is it like Christmas? Do you get enough days off, or is it New Year's where you get the 2 days off? I think some jobs. Well, every job is different.
See, I was gonna approach this as the ones that I like to celebrate, because like Halloween, it's top tier. Halloween parties, dressing up in costumes, fuck man, even just handing out candy to kids, it's fun as hell. I love seeing little kids having fun. I love seeing them like in their little costumes. I love going with my nieces and nephews trick or treating back when the ones that I'd spent a lot of time growing up with were actually young enough to trick or treat.
I love Halloween. Halloween is up there with Christmas. Like, and now that I got a little one, oh my God, I have to check all the candies. He's got to pay a little candy tax. You know, he's gonna have to pay a tax all the best candies. He can have all the little ones. Christmas, it'll be cool to see him enjoy it, ripping up gifts. Those are gonna be my favorite holidays.
I think Halloween takes the cake for me. I think Halloween is the top tier holiday for me, because like Halloween is a whole it's a whole month. Like, I watch spooky movies. I read like any horror novels that I've been putting off reading. I'll read those during that month.
Facts.
I mean, Day of the Dead is in that same little time frame too. Day of the Dead is a fantastic holiday. I like making my little ofrenda, and I like talking about memories of people that I've loved that have passed. Like, I enjoy everything about this little spooky season that we're entering here.
No, you know what's crazy too is that it's not just everyone in the U.S. Cable companies, movies, shows, books, cartoon networks, they all have a Halloween edition of something. Just like Christmas. They don't really got it for 4th of July or any other bullshit.
Yo,
but
this year they debuted pumpkin spice in September. It's not even the end of summer yet.
oh yeah.
They're already talking about pumpkin spice. I'm like, yo, every year, next year in July, they'll be talking about pumpkin fucking spice.
I mean, we already have seen the ultimate form of pumpkin spice already. You got to get this pumpkin spice, then you got to shotgun it.
Yeah.
Just like that video that I found on Twitter this morning.
Yeah, that guy shotgunning that pumpkin. That was crazy. I didn't think shit was beast. He seemed to cut a hole right in the side of the latte and just went for it.
Honestly, pumpkin
That
spice.
man's a hero.
Pumpkin spice used to be like a little joke on, how white girls love pumpkin spice. But that shit's become a point to where everyone loves pumpkin spice, bro.
That
Tony,
shit
is this
wasn't
you-
a joke.
was a
Everybody's
joke. They
always
used
loved
to-
pumpkin spice.
No, but they
Is this
they
you
were
admitting
clowning.
is this you admitting that you love pumpkin spice lattes, Tony?
I love pumpkin spice latte. Yeah.
Same. I
shit
just
is-
wanted to hear you say
You wanted me not to. You want me to
I
fight
don't
it?
like it. I'm not a fan.
I think the experience is that as places get gentrified and you're getting exposed to more of the
Quality.
things that other parts of America experience.
And this is another thing too about like Starbucks on TikTok. Bro, their employees make fire ass drinks, bro. I have like a list of like 40 drinks that I want to try from Starbucks. They got like anime character type drinks and shit, but it's just, juice pretty much. But the first drink I ever had from Starbucks, I'm sorry, we're getting off topic here, but I have to just go to it. It was like a cookie dough frappe. Had chunks of cookie dough on top. Most craziest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. And it was during Christmas. Another one of my favorite holidays.
I swear that those Starbucks frappes used to have a little bit more like the chunks of ice in them when they made them, and I miss that. I miss that a lot.
You can ask for that, though.
I've never really been a Starbucks person.
I mean, for me,
I've been there a few
Starbucks
times.
is like dessert. Like it's not. I don't go there for my coffee fix. My coffee fix, I like cold brew coffee when I'm having coffee. I've got all kinds of coffee gadgets, but Starbucks is like it's like a dessert place. It's like you want to go to McDonald's and get a frosty, or not a frosty, whatever they're called, a McFlurry, or you want to go to Starbucks and get one of their stupid sugary bullshit drinks.
Yeah, nah.
But yeah, focusing back on the topic, for me, I've always been partial to spring break. Like, there's something about like Christmas is so Christmassy that like it dominates the time, especially the time off. And the activities are already set. You got motherfuckers caroling. You got to open presents. You know the Dominicans, they doing Christmas night. Then you got to go link up with other people that are doing Christmas morning. It's like you got so much shit like just handled for you already. It's like it's eating up all your time.
There's a page that just opened up, and it's Mariah Carey inside of a frozen block singing the All I Want for Christmas. And they said she's beginning to defrost.
Bro, that's another thing, too, I hate about Christmas. No, I don't hate. This is one thing I hate about Christmas. And it's the Mariah Carey bullshit. They always got her as the main singer. She can't sing no more.
Bro, she dropped that album 10 years ago or some shit like that.
I think that shit's from the 90s, dude.
That shit has a fucking chokehold on the Christmas
No one will let it go,
game.
bro.
Bro, she's been the person singing at New Year's for like 10 years straight. It's always been Mariah Carey, bro.
No one's taking that from her. I don't know how the hell she got that deal. That has to be a deal. There's no way.
She's bigger than Frank Sinatra.
Like,
All right.
She dropped that in '94.
Holy
I don't think
shit.
she got a deal. I think she just dropped a banger of a Christmas track, and everybody wants to use it every Christmas because first it's like, oh, here's a cool Christmas song, let's play it. Then people are like, oh, I really like that song, keep playing it. Then it becomes part of the zeitgeist. This is just the sound of Christmas. So now everybody has to play it or it doesn't feel like Christmas. I think that's where we are now, is that this song has to be playing or else we're not experiencing Christmas.
She's also icon status, Mariah Carey. So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
one of a kind voice, one of a kind singing, and I think she embodied Christmas like Frank Sinatra did, and all these other people did. They like have the embodiment of what Christmas was.
I do want to say, I'm not going to go on record and say Halloween is probably, October is probably one of the best holidays general.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Big
Before you
Christmas
get
number
into your
2.
Halloween rant, I'm going to continue my spring break rant.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I was
go ahead.
saying before I was cut off and into this whole Mariah Carey bullshit. Christmas is like your time is already taken up by all these activities. Spring break is a more relaxing, a more chill time where people could just do nothing with your time off, or there's all the spring break parties. There's all one of the best parties. My brother's birthday is like around the spring break time frame. Yeah, we threw a party one year during the spring break. It was fucking crazy. All right, it was a crazy party. I was drinking. After that, I was sitting at home playing my Nintendo emulators and shit like that, eating cake and drinking beer for days. This is in high school. This was fire, yo. This is one of my best times in my life. All right, so for that reason, I've always had a sweet spot, I guess, or a love for spring break.
For me, spring break never like it actually never delivered on the promise that I wanted it with spring break. I wanted like these crazy wild spring breaks back when I was like in my early 20s. When I never got it. We did a beach party that was pretty.
That's what I was thinking, Pucho.
Yeah.
Spring break.
I never.
That's all I was thinking.
Yeah,
bro.
Spring Breakers is a funny ass movie
Oh,
too.
I love that movie, bro.
Yeah, spring break was just me watching MTV, watching other people wild the fuck out.
Damn,
That's what it was, man. MTV ruined spring break for me because like I wanted that like party. I didn't want it like to that level of MTV
I
because their shit
wanted
got
that
fucking crazy. But
What was the show? White Girls Gone Wild?
Girls
Or
Gone Wild.
I'm thinking of Girls
Wild.
Gone Wild.
The show was White Girls Going Wild.
That shit was a great show.
That's a staple of late night television right there. Is that stupid Girls Gone Wild?
Yeah.
I've actually
a lot of the
witnessed that
girls
shit.
regret. A lot of the girls regret
course.
doing all that shit.
Of course.
And they said that a lot of them were given a lot. They were very intoxicated when they were doing that shit.
Yo, this is the infamous story that Pucho's brother loves to tell. We've witnessed these girls gone wild at a club, and I was wilding out that night. Wilding out. The shit was an epic night. I don't even know what type. I wish it was in October because October would be hands down the best month. But, bro, it was a great time. Spring break is a great time. I'll give it to Pucho. Spring break is good. That's definitely a party it up adult vibe. Fuck them kids. Leave them at home. This is adult time shit. I like.
See, I think that Christmas and Halloween might be the top tier like combination of the two. You can have a straight up like wholesome Halloween. You can have a straight up wholesome Christmas, or you can do it like a scum. You can do some drinking. You can party it up a bit. You can
Like
do
a
a more
scumbag.
adult style. Yeah, like man, you could do your scumbag Halloween. You could be shit faced. And I went to a little suburb one time and did like Halloween with a buddy up there that lives in the burbs. And we were going around, and every other house was handing out Jello shots. They had candy for the kids. They had
Nice.
Jello shots for the adults. We were smashed by the time we got back from doing
That's
this
what the
little
fuck
like
I'm talking
trick or treating run with his little 4-year-old.
Last year, my neighbors, bro, they did that. They built a whole haunted house for the kids that when they come by, they walk in it, and they handed out shots for the adults. Shit was fire. Going back there
way to
this
do
year
it.
for Halloween. I'm gonna get my shot. Sure. But no, dope. So
Are you gonna wear the giraffe costume?
no, I'm not.
That
gonna wear
giraffe costume's good, dude. It's
It's a
tight on the
good
giblets
one.
though, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
My
tied on the
my
giblets.
Mario costume was super tight on the. I had the straight moose knuckle going on, man.
Oh, I had that
Yeah.
going on too. That shit was tight around the.
Pucho's hat. He hated the hat.
You hated the hat.
Yeah, that fucking Link costume was tight. Just all around. It was just snug as fuck. Except for the pants. The pants were big. And I was like, where do they get off with this? Big ass pants, everything else is like tight.
You know what?
Like,
I think this year for Halloween costumes that we're gonna do, I think we put it in Discord and let the people in Discord decide which one of us gets to wear the costume.
That's
I like
cool.
that.
I like that as well.
As long
Yeah,
as
we
it's
can do
not crazy, I can't. Don't put me in a fucking dildo suit or a dick suit. I got to walk around with a kid.
I need to get in some shape before Halloween then, because these Halloween costumes be coming snug.
Snuggies.
I bought you that suit. Doey ripped the pants.
I busted
0.2
out the
seconds.
pants. Yo, I sat down and it was all it read. That was it. It was over. What are you gonna ask me, Tony?
Oh, so I know you didn't get to celebrate holidays, but Christmas seems like one of those holidays. How about instead of saying which one's your favorite, which one would you think you would enjoy as an adult now? Now that you're not with the J-Dubs, what would you think you would enjoy a lot more?
It's got to
I
be
know
the
this-
birthday one, right?
Yeah,
With like the
it's
circle.
birthday.
Your
Yeah, I
birthday?
still yearn
It's your
for
birthday.
for the surprise party. I've never had it.
Go, Dowie.
Surprise! Oh,
I've never had that either.
yeah.
bro.
You know, just it's not for me. It's not even about. It's about people taking their time to celebrate someone else, and like, I haven't gotten that yet. I want it so bad.
I know you hit me with some guilty comments last night.
Hey guys,
Straight
to all
assault.
the
Oh my
fans,
God, yeah,
to all the
that's-
fans, to everybody on the podcast, I want you guys to know my birthday's coming up, and I demand gifts. Okay, I demand gifts. I'm gonna go
in the form of subscribers. He wants gifts in the forms of subscribers.
Facts.
subs and money.
Yeah, he
I'll
don't give a fuck
you
about them subs.
My
He wants
Cash App.
gifts. He wants gifts of the expensive
My
variety.
Cash App is Doey309. Okay.
This nigga's wild.
My Venmo. My Venmo is also Doey309.
He's gonna get hacked. Someone is gonna use this info to hack his damn account.
So
To all the fans, here's his personal number, so you can say happy birthday to him on his birthday. 917
no, stop.
892 4757. Give him a shout out.
Yeah,
Tony, what
definitely
the fuck
call
is
that
your
number.
problem?
It's not his
call
number.
that
I just.
number.
I know it's not his number, but
Yo,
why?
someone's about to
Like,
get
yo,
blasted.
you got this bet of like you.
Give him his birthday
Are
shout
we
out.
gonna have to
bro, you
blur that out
crazy.
now so some random
Nah,
dude
let it
is
ride.
just-
Let it ride. Let that number ride. Just like Mike
Some
Jones
ra-
did it. Who Mike Jones? 381
No, that
80.
was-
Let that shit
that
ride.
was his number.
We all called that shit.
That was his number.
Okay, call that shit. That's what I'm saying.
281-334-800. No,
330-8004.
330, yeah.
Hit Mike Jones up on the low. 'Cause Mike Jones about to blow.
Oh, yeah, that's catchy. Yo. I'm sorry, that's catchy.
He was all catchy. But that's
Before I
it.
had the
Before I had the diamond grill or icy chain or some damn. Yeah, we fucking botched it. But that man was fire. But yeah, though. So other than your birthday, an actual holiday, because your birthday is not a holiday.
I always loved summer break. I always loved fuck Easter. Easter was so stupid.
Yeah.
I hated Easter. Worst. Let's do worst.
do the J Dubs do Easter?
We do Passover.
You guys do that stupid shit
We
on your
do
forehead?
no.
Ash
no, we do-
Wednesday?
That's
Talking about
Ash
Ash
No, that's
Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday. That's
Ash
a whole
Wednesday.
different thing. I ain't fucking with
Yeah.
all that shit. Can't even eat meat on Easter.
Bro,
or
my
some
mom
shit.
will
I don't
come
like
up to
them
me.
religious holidays. They're terrible. You putting shit on your forehead. You walk around looking dirty,
Ashy.
or ashy as a motherfucker. Or you can't eat meat. You got to eat fish. That your mama's making fish. It's like, bro, fuck a Good
they
Friday,
do
bro.
that
I
here.
want to eat meat. Or fish. My mother still does that shit. You go to her house, she'll hit you with a fish. I'll be like, boy, no, I'm not eating tonight. I'm not eating no fish.
My mom was trying to Simba me, bro. I said, bro, get out of here with this bullshit. Don't put no dirty shit on my face. I just took a shower. Oh, it's for Ash Wednesday. I don't give a fuck. The
Joey,
hell?
you want to know the two bottom tier ones for me? It's either Easter or Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is bullshit. Mardi Gras,
Really?
you
Know
go
about
out to
that.
Mardi Gras, it's just a bunch of people over drinking and fucking like vomiting on the fucking street. I don't enjoy Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is bullshit.
I need to experience it before I can make a comment like that.
I've never been, but I mean, I gotta be complete.
Mardi Gras is just people cosplaying as alcoholics. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
There's tits everywhere. Doe loves tits. He'll love Mardi Gras. I'm lying? What is this sudden silence?
I'm a titty man.
Okay,
I will
thank
agree.
you.
Though he's a titty boy. Dough boy,
Titty
titty
boy.
boy.
Titty boy.
But nah, worst holiday for me, I would say, would probably be Easter. For sure. Easter and yeah, Easter. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, even the holidays that are in February and March, and like, I'm not doing anything on those holidays because it's too cold to do anything up here on
fuck
those
Valentine's
holidays.
too. Fuck Valentine's. That's another waste
Yeah.
ass fucking holiday.
Valentine's literally is a American created holiday. Like, it literally serves zero purpose for us other than to make restaurants money. The flower service gets money. All these little services get a lot of play those days.
And fuck Black Friday. That's another holiday. I love Cyber Monday. Fuck Black Friday.
You You know, speaking of holidays, this section I'm pretty positive is dropping on the start of Hispanic Heritage Month.
Shout out to all
the ball
the
there.
Shout out to all the
Latinx.
Latinx.
You already know.
I was gonna say Latinos.
I'm not a big fan of the Latinx.
Yeah, I'm actually coming around where it's not my favorite anymore. I think Latina might be my new favorite one. It flows a little bit better. It's gender neutral.
Shout out to all the Hispanics out there. All of y'all. Men, women, children. It's our shit. It's our day. It's our month. Fuck it.
Somebody told me that they were getting taught Spanish by an Argentinian person, and they talk Spanish really fucked up.
Yeah.
Tortillas
they talk mad.
Yeah, the double L is a sh sound.
Shush sound?
Yeah, they beat the sha. They be with the chas.
Even the Spanish people, they be hitting them S sounds.
Yeah, the lisp. I don't like the actual. Like I don't like the real Spanish.
They say
can't
Spaniards.
do it.
They say Spaniards speak.
Lo siento.
Yes.
They're saying sorry, but they're like lo siento. I'm not into that. I can't get.
They said the Spaniards speak it correctly.
Yeah, they will tell you that they speak it correctly, but nobody wants to speak Spanish in that manner. It doesn't sound cool. It sounds lame.
You like the way Dominicans speak it.
I like the our
dialect.
Our dialect, I don't know how do you call it, our accent when we speak the language. I
just
also
think nobody's funnier than Dominican people, bro.
But before we get into the next subject, did y'all see that thing on Twitter where it was there were a bunch of Spaniards that were upset because they don't get to count as part of the Hispanic identity?
I saw that they wanted to be. There was a Spanish woman calling herself Latinx.
Yep.
But even someone in there described Latinx in such a way where even Caribbean people like Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, they're not Latinx because they're not from like Central America or whatever.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
It's like a region thing. So it's like, how do you you got to draw the line
it's
somehow.
gatekeeping, bro.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it really is. They're saying like, yeah, the people from Spain, they're white. They're not Latinx type of shit. But it's like, have you seen the people in some of them people in Venezuela, some of them people in Argentina? There's a lot of Jewish people that just moved, that not just, but historically, it might have been like post-Holocaust or something like that. That there's a bunch of them, a bunch of Jewish people that went to Argentina. They speak
not
Spanish
just
fluently.
Jews.
I mean, the
Nazis.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Nazis that went to Argentina is the one that I know the big population of.
Germans. You can go to certain parts of Argentina and literally the architecture changes to German architecture, and it's just like they've built themselves towns and stuff. They said it was a hiding place for a lot of the Nazis after the war.
Doey, where's your tinfoil hat thing saying that Hitler survived? He faked his death and he hid out in Argentina. Isn't that one of the conspiracy theories that's out there?
Yeah. But
I talked to someone who I don't think they watch the pod anymore. But they used to watch the pod. They told me that the Earth is flat and Hitler is past Antarctica. They're past. There's lands beyond Antarctica. Antarctica circles the entire Earth, and then there's more continents beyond the disk of Antarctica, and Hitler's out there chilling. I was baffled.
That's fucking wild.
Well,
get us into that next topic.
What's definitely wild, right, is, replacing cars with other methods of transportation. Is it viable? Think we can replace cars and not use it anymore?
Do you think it's crazy to replace cars with what makes you think that it's out of your mind? Like, what are these people thinking?
I think for some things, right, like transporting goods across the country, like I feel like you need semi trucks to move things around.
Absolutely.
So you're gonna need highways to do that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's trucks or trains, basically, right? That's
ambulances, delivery trucks to the stores. You're gonna need these goods and services, and you're gonna need roads for these things, right?
And there are some people that just work far. Like I told you, if you took a train from the Bronx to Far Rockaway, that's a 2 hour and some change ride.
2.5. Yeah.
Like you're not like ain't nobody hitting that commute to go to work like in I don't know who's doing that commute to
There
work
are people that do
from
that.
the Bronx. Well, there you go. That shit doesn't seem reasonable. So I think you need a car. You got to hit them expressways. You got to hit them highways. Like,
Well, New York has the unique thing that you won't get a job in Far Rockaway, but everybody kind of meets in the middle in Manhattan. And if you're not in Manhattan, you're just outside of Manhattan, like Long Island City, where Jesus lives, or Uptown, or the ending of the Bronx Yankee Stadium, where it's just like this little oval of jobs. So everybody outside the city commutes in, and then they have their job in Manhattan or wherever it may be. But for the most part, everybody, commutes in New York.
and you got people, Pennsylvania, New Jersey,
Pennsylvania,
driving into New York City.
Connecticut. You got the
Connecticut.
Metro Transit that comes in from Connecticut. So, yes.
So I think for some of these people, I've taken the train from New York to Jersey. It's like, yo, and a lot of people do this. Like a lot of people that used to work like on Wall Street and things like that, they'd be riding that train right into Manhattan from Jersey and shit.
Yeah.
So I think there's some cases where you definitely gonna need cars.
A lot of cities
doing his best ta-da right now.
Yeah,
What?
a lot of cities in Texas are very spread out, and I don't find that bikes would be very efficient. Like in Austin, for example, Houston, they're just such wide cities. They just cover so much area, and there's not any of the infrastructure you would need to be able to make that happen. You're going to get on the fucking highway on even your e-bike and do 30 miles per hour down the highway? Hell no. I saw it. I almost hit a dude on a bike the other day because he was on the exit from the highway biking. You're coming off that exit at 45 miles per hour, even if like it, at the slowest, if you're slowing down. Shit's dangerous, man.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be on a road that has a speed limit of 65 miles per hour on a vehicle that can do 30 miles per hour, 35
Max.
miles per hour.
No,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
When Track Bike Tony went on to the fucking Major Deegan, the Cross Bronx Expressway, I was like, oh my God. Like, I couldn't believe that he was doing something that crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like most of this, like getting rid of the cars for like normal everyday drivers, it only works in the cities. That's it. Something like New York, California, probably, or some parts of Atlanta or whatever, maybe. But in like Texas, like places that are stretched out, you need a car. Like you just need it. Like there's no way.
Yeah, but I think part of the conversation is
How could we fix that?
why did the city planners build a city in such a way where cars were mandatory?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
they're bullshitters.
There's a growing trend. I think a couple cities have done this where they're building like these little towns that they're just walking towns. So it'd be like this big, like think of it like a giant plaza or a couple blocks, and everything you could need is kind of in that walking distance for the most part. And then of course you could leave to drive or bike to go to work and things like that. But they're trying to build these little hubs where there's like movie theaters, there's entertainment, there's food, there's restaurants, there's grocery stores, there's all types of things, and it's all within walking distance. I think that shit is cool. That's how we used to build places, like before cars were around. That's how these places used to get built up. It's like, look, people are going to be living in these places. They need to walk around. They need to do things. Like they need access to things.
There was a video series that I fell into a weird YouTube rabbit hole. I think it was one of the biking videos that Doey sent, and from there I ended up 20 clicks down. I ended up at this dude's page, right? And he's an urban planner. That's all he does. He does urban planning.
I did share that.
And he was talking about the three that there's basically three kinds of roads. There's three different kinds of like means of moving things, and it's like streets, roads, and highways. Those are like essentially like the three kinds. It may not be exactly those kinds. And towns in Europe are designed around that concept, though. One of them is for residential kind of things. One of them is for commercial things, and then there's the highway should only be for moving between towns. But that's not the way that that most U.S. cities are designed. The highways go down the middle. The highways exit straight into the business centers. There's not a lot of this design that you see in like European cities, because a lot of European cities, from what I've heard, are more bike friendly. They're more bike centric. They're designed for pedestrians to walk around. U.S. cities aren't even fucking friendly for pedestrians for the most part. You're walking on roads that have 60, 55 mile per hour like speed limits, and that shit is dangerous. Anything over like I think 30 miles per hour in a vehicle, you will die if you get hit by a vehicle. The chance of surviving a vehicle to pedestrian crash at that speed is pretty damn low.
Not only that, but if you look at the percentage, how much of the road do the cars get? And how much of the road do the pedestrians, do the cyclists, do the buses get? The cars by far out margin everybody else. Like we're giving cars the dominant experience on the roads. Also to that, there's also the high death rates in cars and car crashes. And we saw the one in Houston recently with the nurse. She was speeding 90 miles an hour, smashed into 2 cars, killed 6 people. 1 person was in the womb. She got charged for murdering somebody in the womb.
Dude, I was driving to work the other day, and this road that I'm driving on has a speed limit of like 45 or something like that, right? This little section I'm on. There was a car that was flipped over. I don't know how the hell this person managed to flip their car over on a flat road with a speed limit of 40 miles per hour.
You can
but
do
they found
it.
a way.
Some cars also aren't built. Some cars are built top heavy, shit like that. Like they're easy to roll over. I just it's about to be 3 years now of biking and cycling. It's just opened my mind up to like, you don't need a car anymore. You can have a bike. You can even have a really good scooter and get anywhere you need to in Manhattan faster
you can have
than
a penny
you would.
farthing.
Do you think
I don't think you have a penny farthing, but I think if you have like a one wheel, a unicycle, an electric unicycle, those things are really convenient to use. I think a lot of this is going to move into electric use vehicles, and
it's
like
already there, but I think it's
scooters.
it's like it's funny that he says that, like he thinks like bike is the new wave, but it's like, what do you think back then in the days when they were doing horseback and then they introduced the bike and then they introduced the first car? Like they were like, yo, fuck a bike, fuck a horse. The car is the wave. And now it's just like slowly becoming like.
I don't mean to interrupt, but the reason why New York is the way it is because it was before the car was created. New York was mostly horse carriage. So the way that they designed New York was mostly with trains and mass transportation trolleys and horse carriages and walking and bikes and shit like that. That's what it was designed for. The creation of cars came afterward, and then they designed New York around cars. So you'll still see the subways. There's great ways to get around New York without actually having to step into a vehicle.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's.
But what point were you making, Tony?
My point is, it's funny how like a circle of life kind of comes back, right? Like we're trying to get away from all this traffic issues, all this pollution and shit. We're going to more of an electric way of thinking. And if we just build, like you said, like if you just like structurally build cities to get rid of cars, then sure, like we wouldn't have nearly enough pollution. We wouldn't have all these issues. It's not about
getting rid of cars. It's about reducing
the amount of cars. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, ideally you would get rid of them, though, right?
I don't think society can live without it. At the point where we're at, you're gonna need ambulances. You're gonna need delivery trucks.
Yeah, we're talking about for personal use.
For personal use, reduce.
I mean, even for personal use, you're talking about like reducing daily use, because like road tripping is still such a big part of the American like experience, right? But road tripping is a big part of the American experience because cross country travel fucking sucks. Your only option is to fly. Airlines are fucked right now. I'm nervous about my flight tomorrow. I'm just gonna show up like 2.5 hours early for my flight because I'm worried about traveling, especially on a holiday weekend. But like, trains aren't viable. Who wants to spend fucking 24 hours on a train to do a trip that you could do in 2 or 3 hours on a plane, right? No one. Who the hell has that time?
I use the Amtrak up here, And although Amtrak is a little bit overpriced, I really enjoyed my commutes back and forth from Providence to New York. That was my favorite way to getting. Even now, I don't think I'd take a plane up to Boston. I'd go to Penn Station, get on an Amtrak, and go up to Boston that way. It just is efficient.
Is it time efficient though? Like how long does that trip take?
2.5 hours. 2.5 hours.
It's a little longer. It's a little longer than driving, but
about 30 minutes longer than driving. 45 minutes longer than driving.
I did the commute with Dewey before, coming from Providence. I flew to Providence, visited some family, hopped on a train, went to New York, and hung out with Doe and shit like that, and then chilled with the family.
That's right.
And yeah, it's just nice. We got on the train, me and my wife, and I was playing video games, talking shit, reading books. It's just nice to not have to engage with traveling while traveling. You know what I mean? And I forgot what city. I'm actually curious. I think it was like Arizona or something like that. They had like this fleet of vans that they were building out, these self-driving vans that they were gonna like unleash onto the city. And the idea was these vans would just pick people up and commute them around for free. So people would just request a van will pull up. There might be other people, it might have other stops, it was drop people around. But the idea was to get people to stop driving cars. And they had the city has like some number of like millions of drivers or whatever. And they were like, yeah, a couple hundred vans could service this entire city if, mapped out efficiently. You know what I'm saying? And they would like greatly reduce the number of cars on the road. They'll eliminate a ton of traffic, a ton of pollution. And people get to relax while commuting. You know what I mean? They just hit a thing up. They sit down. They do whatever the fuck they want. They can have drinks. They could do whatever the fuck they want, on their way to wherever they need to go.
The higher education, when I used to get on the trains back to New York, there are people that commute from Providence and Boston all the way down to New York. When I was taking it was before COVID, so it was like almost every week, every day they would come and back and forth. I don't know how much that ticket, that Amtrak yearly, daily cost is, but that shit must be like $5,000, $6,000 at the end of the year.
Bro, for a student though, that's what, 5 hours where you're just on a train. You can just bunker down and do your studying. You can knock that shit out on your little trip.
Yep.
Most of bro, trains would be helpful as hell in Florida too, because if we just had more trains and different avenues dropping off, it'll be great. But it's just the fact is that it's just so far out. Like, I wouldn't mind taking a train services 24 hours from here to Miami or something. I can go get fucked up in Miami and take a train back where I ain't gotta drive. Ubers is kind of expensive when you do that in certain areas, and that's a little hassle too, trying to order an Uber sometimes. But it's
y'all Florida boys can't be trusted with a party train back from Miami. Imagine being on that 3 a.m. train back from Miami. It's just a rolling like a party on a train, basically.
It'll be partying, fights, and throw ups all on that train, all the way back to Palm
they're gonna have to have a hell of a cleaning service.
The Palm Beach Tran is probably one of the worst metro buses I've ever been on in my entire life. Is the Austin? I expect Austin to be a little bit better.
No, the Austin buses are pretty not great. They're not super reliable. The routes suck. There was a drunk train in Austin or a drunk bus that we used to ride, and it was garbage. And the Metro Rail in Austin sucks. Like, it doesn't run on certain days of the weekend. It stops running at like 9 p.m. or some shit like that. I don't think those hours have changed. It's been a while since I've been on the train. I'm happy to be corrected if they have expanded the service, but our train service is also terrible.
Yo, Palm Tran might suck, yo. I used to ride Palm Tran every single day to go to the boxing gym. I used to take the bus across the street from the gym. I used to have to transfer. I used to go take the bus to the Wellington Mall, get on another bus, and go up right across the street from the gym. Then I'd walk a couple blocks to get to the gym. I used to take it every day. It's not that bad. It sucks in terms of like where it goes. Like, you could ride a bus in New York and get within walking distance anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's not available with a lot of public transit. It's like you get dropped off in a region and you still need to get a ride from where you got dropped off to where you're trying to go. So like, even Tony's saying, oh, we could take a train from Miami to Palm Beach. It's like, all right, once you get there, You gotta figure out how you're gonna get home. Like you might be miles from the house. So shit like that just sucks. You know what I'm saying?
My boy Easy has a story of when he was on the Palm Tran. He says he used to ride the Palm Tran and used to still think he was better than everyone on the. He would look down at everyone in the Palm Tran. He said he would never try to talk to a girl or anything that was riding the.
Why is that a thing? Because people also look down on like bus riders. It's like, oh, you have to ride. You ride a bus.
You ride the bus. Yeah, even in New York, it's a thing. You don't have a car. You don't got a car.
But even in New York, the train riders look down on the bus riders.
Mm-hmm.
The bus riders are like I ain't taking the bus.
That's why the train riders
the
do
bus
look
is
down
just
on
more
them.
complicated. It has a far more complicated transfer system. Getting from places is more complicated. So I think everybody looks down on the bus riders. Nobody knows the city better than the bus riders. They know where all the stops are. They know all the places they could transfer. They know all the little nooks and crannies every bus is gonna take them.
The problem with the New York buses is that they stop every 2 or 3 blocks, and it just feels like you're going nowhere.
Oh, you are actually making good time though. But I will say to Pucho's point, that transit map for the bus, it looks like a map of like the nervous system, like in the human body.
Yeah, it's
for New York especially.
That's my favorite thing about New York is how fast I can get somewhere if I want to, or I feel like everything's in arm reach. Like it's just that's what I like about it, bro. Like we went to Manhattan, then we went to I don't know what it was called, something College Village or some shit. I don't know. Point blank, like we went to so many different fucking areas that in a matter of like hours, we traveled 3 different fucking Queens, Bronx, Manhattan. We're just in these cities. It's just like that's the one thing I like about it. In every corner there's a fucking bodega. Every corner there's food. Every corner there's drinks. There's a bar. There's events. The shit's lit. New York City is a lit place to visit. Like I said, I would never want to live, but I would like to visit.
Here's the thing.
There was a time in my 20s when I really wanted to move to New York.
Here's the thing about New York, and this is why people move to New York from outside of the United States early. Because when you have a resume that says that you work in New York or you worked in any of these high capacity jobs where you had to be seeing hundreds of people and you had to be dealing with hundreds of people, wherever else you go in America and they see that, it's like an automatic, like, yeah, this guy's good to go. He's worked in New York. He's seen a variety of different types of people. He's been under the stress of a lot of work. This is the kind of guy that we want for our company. And that's why people, they do their 10 years in New York when they do go to college, and when because it's
I mean, it's also a salary booster, honestly. I mean I would get a 25, 30, 40% salary boost just by taking a job in New York compared to taking a job in Austin.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild. But yeah, I don't know. One day we'll get out of this fucking personal driving and get into, viable.
I want jetpacks. I want to fly to my job.
I want a teleportation. I want to open up a door and just go through it.
Yeah, yesterday I went to this restaurant, right? With my wife. We had the day off and went out to eat lunch. And they were doing some construction. All the fucking roads to this restaurant was closed. I had to park, we had to park, a ways away from the restaurant and walk through and past construction to get to this restaurant. And on the way back, after, I'm all nice and full from lunch, I'm walking back to the car and I'm just like, I wish I was Goku, man. I wish I could just instant transmission right back to the house and just be done with this shit.
Would you be happy if you had like a scooter to get to your car, that you could just like scooter your way to your car around all that and then just pop the scooter in your trunk after you're done?
No, he wants that self-valet, dude, with the smart cars, that shit that they were like, oh, the car would just drop you off at the restaurant. It'll go park itself. You come out, you do a little boop, boop on your device. The car comes and picks you up. That's what I want.
Bro, like, just as simple as as he's saying he wants instant transmission. Bro, I just want, I can, this fucking door right here. I put a keypad there. I hit Pucho's house. I open that door. I'm right in front of Pucho's door, nigga. I want something like that. I want to live in that future. That's where I want to live
creating
at.
Portals.
I want to be fucking. What happened?
I was looking up the routes to ride my bike to Florida.
Get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
I was looking up the routes.
Not with
How
that
to
broken
get-
frame.
Yeah, no, the cracked motor mount. Yeah, I have to take that in on Tuesday. Hopefully it's not that, but my motor is definitely moving around.
You can actually
But,
do
yeah.
it on your electric bike too. Get a solar panel, put on the back, and just
I
drive.
think personally, I think with the amount of time I'm wasting charging up my bike in between charge sessions, maybe I don't charge it up at all and I ride it without the battery for the rest of the day. I'll just ride it on eco, 20-30% of the battery and motor. I can maybe get 120 miles. You don't really want to do more than 100 to maybe 150 miles a day before you start resting. So it would take me maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get
God
down
damn.
to Florida.
On
It'd
a
take me like
bike?
2 on a bike. Yeah, just resting, charging, doing all the stuff that I need to do. Not to say I wouldn't get any flats. Something on my bike could break. All that stuff is a variable. And if I don't have anything to fix it with, I'm assed out. And that's where my journey ends.
That's a trip that would require some planning for sure, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy. So I just mapped it, and it will take me 5 days and 7 hours to get to where Zeus's location is.
Yeah.
On bike.
Yeah.
But yeah, though, I need to send you. There's this podcast called Heavyweight, and there's these. It tells the story of these brothers that they took a 240-mile bike trip when they were 10 years old. They went from like one city to another city, and it took them like 3-4 days. They camped some nights. They got to sleep in a hotel, and they did it with like 4 friends on bikes. I don't know. That shit sounded super fun.
The guy who inspired me to get back into biking just biked from New York to Wyoming.
Jesus.
Yeah, and that looked incredible. And then he started doing some funky stuff where he started wearing open-toed sandals and started painting all his toenails. And I wasn't really all into that. I was like, ew.
Aren't you a
What's
fan
funky
of
about
Aren't you a
that?
fan of the clear coat on your nails?
Yeah, clear coat's fine. Colors are a little weird for me.
What's wrong with putting colors on your nails?
I think colors are rad, man. It's the amount of rock stars that I watched that paint their nails different colors. Like I think
He
it's rad as hell.
he
It's rock and
also
roll.
was wearing these weird looking sandals. It was like a thong sandal, but it was just the one in the middle that went up, and then
like
it like
ninja
had
sandals.
a strap on the top. Yeah, it was really hard for me to watch those streams, and be completely honest.
So those minimalist sandals. I told you when I was in college, it was a hippie, what the fuck was he? Like a teaching assistant, a hippie teaching assistant. It was like a plank of wood and like a ribbon, and he just like wrapped the ribbon around his foot in the wood, and he was just walking around clumping, clack, 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 and I'm like, yeah, that shit is terrible. But it was like sustainable shoes, you know?
That dude's got no arch on his foot anymore. He's just got a flat ass foot now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up. Hit that share button. Subscribe to our YouTube page. We're on all social media platforms. Man, and as always, as a CEO and my co-host here, go one up yourself. Peace.
Peace.